Look at this.
Don't play it loud, not in public.
Why?
Everyone is being very quiet.
What does that have to do with you? Mind your own business. Who are you?
This is Japan.
So what? I'm Chinese. Can I not watch it? Does it concern you? What's wrong with you? On December 3rd, a blogger from northeast China posted a video claiming that his mother deliberately played the live broadcast of the September 3rd military parade loudly on the subway in Japan. A Chinese passenger came over to ask her to stop, and his mother then started yelling at him. The Chinese passenger repeatedly asked for silence, but this auntie was very aggressive.
Public places don't allow playing things out loud.
You're too noisy. Who are you?
Don't you feel ashamed?
Who are you?
I know today is September 3rd.
Are you Chinese? Why are you pretending?
I'm not pretending.
Why can't I watch the military parade? Let me watch. The blogger filming the video said this confrontation between his mother and the man lasted for a long time, as his mother's nationalist emotions were stirred up after seeing the parade. Some online users revealed that this auntie had married a Japanese man. Other users criticized her behavior, saying it could be reported to the embassy for deportation, and that this kind of person was ruining the reputation of Chinese people overseas. Some users said that these people, unable to change their humble reality, choose to gain false dignity by aligning with power. They think they're displaying the strength of their nation, but forget that it's this very strength that forced them to leave their homeland, finding survival elsewhere. The most oppressed ones proudly act as allies of the oppressors. One user said, "I've lived in Japan for a long time, and I've noticed that around 80% of Chinese people here harbor hatred towards Japan. The scariest part is a lady who said she moved to Japan just so one day she could see Japan's destruction. No matter how much Chinese people talk badly about Japan, their actions betray them." Recently, a Chinese tourist returned from Japan with a pile of beer and daily necessities.
Let me show you what I brought back from Japan. We just got home, and I'm opening the box to let you see. Guess what's inside? You won't believe it. Beer. And this is also beer, and it's still cold. Honestly, I feel a bit embarrassed. There's so many beer manufacturers in China, but I went all the way to Japan to bring beer back. I didn't want to at first, because the beer in China, as anyone who drinks knows, and those who have been to Japan also know, Japanese beer tastes much better than our beer. Really, it's not that I admire foreign cultures. I'm making this video just to say that, look, even my suitcase is filled with things I bought in Japan. Those who frequently go to Japan know that many people bring empty suitcases and come back with bags full of things. Some even bring 2 suitcases, packed full with daily necessities. You can see I bought shampoo, ointment, toothbrushes, skincare products. It's not just me doing this. Every Chinese person who goes to Japan brings a lot of things back, so this issue is worth reflecting on. It's not that we like foreign products, but it's because of the conscience of domestic companies. The products they make for export are definitely better than what they leave for domestic consumption. They leave the worst products here, and it's the opposite in Japan. Their best products stay in their country, and only the ones with slightly lower quality are exported.
Chinese people are being brainwashed by the CCP, and many have become nationalistic wolf warriors. They often target Japan, and when the topic of Taiwan comes up, they automatically become emotionally agitated and hostile.
台湾不属于中国是吗?
Yes. Yes.
Taiwan does not belong to China, right? Yes. Say again that Taiwan is not part of China. You're foolish. We'll take care of you sooner or later. A recent incident involved a Chinese woman in Busan, South Korea. She was visiting the Sky Capsule train attraction. When she overheard Taiwanese tourists discussing the lack of Taiwanese flags among the national flags displayed, she approached them and asked, "Taiwan is not part of China, right?" When the Taiwanese tourist replied yes, the woman exploded with foul language, saying she would eventually take care of Taiwan. Later, the so-called patriotic little pink shared the video, claiming that within a few hours it has garnered over 200,000 views. She admitted that she felt like physically confronting the Taiwanese tourist, but didn't dare when she saw that there were 4 men with them. One netizen commented, "Who do you think your compatriots are? If you look at it from a historical perspective, it's you who should return to the Republic of China. We are Taiwanese, and you're from the mainland. Please respect each other. Also, you said you almost wanted to hit someone, but you didn't because there were 4 men with them, and you're still posting the video for everyone to see? How embarrassing." Some netizens have pointed out that the Communist Party's brainwashing of the people has been very successful. Little pinks are everywhere in China. They rely on government backing and act with impunity, often embarrassing China abroad. Their poor behavior is tarnishing China's reputation. If Xi Jinping starts a new cultural war, these people will be the main force of the Red Guards, causing harm to the country without hesitation. In the end, it's the common people who suffer. To break this vicious cycle, the Communist Party must be completely overthrown. Recently, something laughable happened in Japan. A Chinese man blocked a tourist bus from leaving because his family members were running late. A video of the incident has gone viral online. The video shows a scene near Mount Fuji, where a Chinese middle-aged man stood in front of a resort bus to stop it from leaving. The bus driver was about to depart when the man blocked the bus with his body. At one point, the man stood at the door, preventing it from closing. The bus driver approached and tried to stop him, even pulling him off the bus. After that, the driver closed the door and prepared to leave. The man then went to the front of the bus to continue blocking it and kept shouting for his late family members to return quickly. A female station employee tried to pull him away. When the two younger family members finally arrived, the man demanded that the driver reopen the door. According to the man who uploaded the video, the driver eventually gave in and allowed the man's family to board, but the bus was delayed by 5 minutes. Since Singapore and Malaysia recently opened up visa-free entry for Chinese tourists, there has been a flood of Chinese visitors. However, more and more incidents of poor behavior have been reported, with many Chinese tourists causing trouble abroad. Let the boss tell me. What do you mean by this? I'm not buying anything then. So what does this mean? You can't. I'm eating. Why can't I? Now I'm leaving and throwing this away. In Singapore, a Chinese woman had an argument with an employee at Shake Shack. The reason for the dispute was that the employee stopped her from bringing McDonald's food into the store. In Singapore, many restaurants and fast food places do not allow customers to bring in outside food and drinks. In response, some netizens said that Chinese visitors should follow local customs when traveling. In Singapore, restaurants generally don't allow outside food to be brought in. Since they're in Singapore, they should comply with the rules. One netizen commented, "This is the quality of the Chinese people. They're unwelcome wherever they go." Mr. Lee, a Chinese man who has lived in Southeast Asia for many years, stated that China has always been known as a nation of etiquette and was once a global example to learn from. Even during the war-torn Republic of China period, China maintained good civil traditions. However, after the Communist Party took over, promoting atheism and party culture, the Chinese people were all degraded.
The driver didn't tell me when getting into the car. The driver didn't say anything.
In early July this year, a group of tourists from China was fined in Malacca, Malaysia. They were not wearing seatbelts as required. During a road inspection by Malaysia's Road Transport Department, enforcement officers issued fines to several tourists, and 5 of them faced further legal procedures. One of the tourists argued that the driver hadn't reminded them. It was understood that the tour guide had clearly instructed all passengers to wear seatbelts when they boarded the bus. However, some passengers ignored the instruction. When the bus passed the temporary road check, the officers found several passengers without seatbelts and ordered fines according to the law. 5 tourists were dissatisfied with the fines and insisted on being taken to the headquarters in Malacca to argue their case. However, after checking their identities, the enforcement officers determined that their actions violated traffic regulations. Chinese tourists, due to their lack of English proficiency, may also inadvertently make mistakes.
我英语不是不好嘛。
I'm not bad at English, right? Fortunately, there's a picture here. The picture shows no smoking, but based on my understanding, this is a smoking-free park. In my understanding, this is a park where smoking is allowed. If there wasn't this picture showing no smoking, I might have smoked here.
A Chinese blogger from Singapore said that most Chinese tourists can't even understand basic English sentences and are only suitable for domestic travel. Otherwise, when they go overseas, especially to Singapore, if they can't understand English, they should expect fines. The blogger joked that no smoking signs should be removed, as many Chinese tourists can't understand English and would think they're free to smoke, leading to Singapore police happily handing out fines. Decades ago, when China started its reform and opening up, there was a surge in learning foreign languages. However, due to the rigid educational system, most Chinese people still have low English proficiency, particularly in speaking. In recent years, China has started to suppress foreign language education. The Communist Party continues to tighten its control over various industries industries within China. After the double reduction policy was imposed on after-school tutoring, they further demanded that English subjects be removed from primary and secondary school examinations. They prohibited the use of foreign teaching materials and mandated that students must study Xi Jinping thought. Taiwanese scholar Wang Zhisheng analyzed this as ideological isolation and a way to block Chinese youth from understanding the real world. In fact, Chinese people often act more recklessly abroad than at home. Some may even explode in anger and make unreasonable scenes. Unqualified? Who are you? You're garbage. Why did you come to China? Why? The rest of the video dialogue has been muted. On September 6, in a restaurant in Shanghai, a woman complained about the sushi, called the chef names, and even smashed the plate. Foreign customers at the next table, unable to watch in silence, had to intervene, but the woman slapped one of them. A young man who witnessed this said she couldn't hit a foreign guest, to which she responded by insulting him as a lapdog and knocking over his dish, pieces of which nearly hit nearby diners. What's even more outrageous is that the woman claimed this cheap sushi is for lower-class people, and she even claimed to be a graduate of Fudan University. After the young man argued with her, she slapped him again. When the police arrived, she demanded they take the young man first, otherwise it would be unlawful. In the end, the woman was forcibly taken away. Commentator Xu Ke remarked that many decent people no longer understand why Chinese people have become like this. There are increasingly more of them in recent years. The root cause is that Chinese people have lost the restraint of traditional morals, and the ancient teachings of tolerance and valuing peace are long forgotten. Additionally, under the Communist Party's rule, there is no mechanism to relieve societal grievances. Many people face injustices in their family, workplace, or society. These issues cannot be resolved, leading to various venting incidents. This verbal abuse is just the tip of the iceberg. Recent indiscriminate attacks have harmed both Chinese and foreign visitors to China. Chinese people may throw tantrums in Southeast Asia, Japan, and Taiwan, but when it comes to countries like Russia, they tend to be more cautious. September 2nd, the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs announced that China would expand its visa-free policy. From September 15, 2025 to September 14, 2026, Chinese authorities will trial a visa-free policy for Russian citizens holding ordinary passports. Russian citizens traveling to China for business, tourism, family visits, or transit for less than 30 days will not need a visa. On September 4th, President Putin stated that Russia would reciprocate and implement the same visa-free policy for China. However, Russia has yet to formally announce this policy. Despite this, many Chinese vloggers have been promoting the idea online. Earlier in 2023, China and Russia had already implemented a mutual visa exemption for group tourism. One blogger posted a reminder for Chinese visitors to Russia.
Once you're in Russia, don't approach more glamorous Russian women. They might just drain your wallet.
A Chinese student had warned 2 years ago that Chinese people face discrimination in Russia. This video has recently gone viral again.
Let me show you how Russians take advantage of Chinese people. This is Moscow Sheremetyevo Airport. Remember, this is a red declaration channel. Here's a lady standing guard, just in case someone tries to run out of this door. When Chinese people get off the plane, they're all arranged for separate inspection, while passengers from other countries, no matter how much luggage they have, can easily walk through the green, undeclared channel without a second check. Why is this happening? Because most of the people coming in now are international students. They generally carry phones and computers, which are more valuable, along with clothes and electronics. If they're not careful, the value might exceed their highest allowed limit. So, Chinese people are all here, undergoing separate checks. They're walking through this small door, all first-time students coming here. What's wrong with bringing a bit more stuff? They're not here to sell things. Why are they being checked? Why only Chinese people? Let me remind everyone, to the incoming Chinese students, sometimes the so-called China-Russia friendship is just empty talk. The actual practice is disheartening.
The student shared a video from the airport in Moscow, where Chinese passengers were all forced to go through the red declaration channel, while passengers from other countries could pass through the green channel without any checks, no matter how much luggage they carried. The blogger questioned why only Chinese people were subjected to the extra scrutiny, explaining that many Chinese students, who typically carry valuable items like phones, computers, and electronics, often exceed the duty-free limit. This often results in fines or taxes on their goods. The student pointed out that while the official narrative of China-Russia friendship is frequently touted, the actual experience left people disheartened. The student added, the so-called Russia-China friendship is just empty words. Commentator Yueshan believes that the so-called China-Russia friendship is a lie. Historically, Russia invaded Chinese territory, but the Chinese Communist Party, supported by the former Soviet Union, has effectively confirmed the occupation of these lands. The two countries' dictators, Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin, are now, due to international pressures, using each other to unite against the US. However, ordinary Chinese people visiting Russia have always been discriminated against and treated with suspicion, and this is something they must remain aware of. The fact that Chinese people behave better in Russia than they do in Southeast Asian countries is a sharp contrast and reflects the mentality of bullying the weak and fearing the strong.